are in a Target at 8 a.m. on a Tuesday for one reason and one reason only. We're back, okay? It's been a little bit of a doozy. Not only did I get to work and then spill my tea all over my desk, but I was not able to get the book in store myself. But however, we still have her. We still have her. And that is because, well, let me just tell you. So I go in. I'm approaching the kiosk. It's completely empty. Like, they have this fancy little kiosk that says Onyx Storm all over it, and it's completely sold out. But there's a Target employee standing there with a cart full of them, and she's got her little beeper and she's like checking them in. And I was like, oh, are you cataloging these right now? I'll wait until you're done and then I'll grab one. And she was like, no, I'm so sorry. These are all already taken. These are all pre-ordered. We're completely sold out. Completely, like the whole store, there's none left in the store. She's like, yeah, this is it. I leave. Sad, heartbroken, but completely understanding that I probably should have been there at 7 a.m. instead of 8 a.m. because clearly the girlies beat me to it. I get to work. I sit down at my little desk. I start doing my little job. And my coworker texts me a picture of this book in her hands. And I was like, are there more? Would you please, would you be so kind and grab me a copy? And she's like, yeah, of freaking course. I'm so sorry that you couldn't get one. So she hands it to me. I'm crying. She's like, what Target did you go to? I was like, girl, then one next to my place and they were completely sold out. She's like, that's weird. That's funny because that's the Target that I went to. I was like, excuse me? Did the woman at Target lie to me? I don't know why she would. I don't know what she would gain from doing so, but it doesn't even matter. It doesn't even matter because we got it. We got her and she's beautiful. Look at her gorgeous little spine. She's so fancy. And tonight Gabriel's working late, so we are diving in. We're gonna have a cozy little reading night. We're gonna light a candle. We're gonna play our little Fourth Wings playlist, and this is our night. Okay, I'm so excited. Oh, this is my little desk, by the way. Isn't she so cute? I'll give you a desk tour sometime if that's something that you're interested in. But we all decorate our desks really cute. So this is a little preview of mine. I tried to do stripes, but it wasn't striping, so I made it into this fun pattern, and then it kind of just like mimicked the wood grain, but that's right. Now it is Friday morning, and I have to take our new cat, Darkness, to the vet. He has a dental procedure this morning because unfortunately all of his teeth were basically gone when they found him, except for just a few, and they were just like, too bad, they had to take him out. So he is actually toothless. Apparently, like, the left side of his jaw is still really inflamed, so they have to go back in and remove anything else that might still be infected. So the poor baby has a lot ahead of him this morning, and right now he's trying to bust his way out of his kennel, but I'm just waiting on an Uber because I have to Uber all the way there with him and get this procedure out of the way. So we'll see you on the other side. He got weighed. He's 10 pounds, so he's a thick boy, but he's doing really good, aren't you, buddies? He's just a lover, unlike his sister, who would be so upset right now and would not let anybody touch her. He's just like exploring and happy to be here, right, buddies? But he's so hungry. He told me the entire way here how hungry he was. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Good morning. So, little update. Picked up Darkness super late last night. He took all day in his procedure. They went in and they called me and they were like, no, there are so many little infected roots. This is gonna take a few hours. So he wasn't done until like 8 p.m. So I drove up to get him and he was super groggy, but he was totally himself, very chatty, very sweet. It was so cute bringing him home because we had to be careful. We were told to keep him in a room where there wasn't like high furniture or stairs or anything because he's just like a little wonky and not sure of his footing. So he was like kind of slipping everywhere, but he was so cute. And we made sure that he got a good meal and then he went to sleep and he truly just like passed out. He was so groggy, so cute. but this morning Gabriel and I had brunch reservations at Barcelona Wine Bar, which is a pretty popular spot here in Philly. So we're headed there now. After brunch, we're probably gonna walk up and down East Passyunk a little bit, check out some of our favorite record stores, and then we're gonna stop, get a little bit more wine, and head home to watch as many Oscar nominee movies as we can before Oscar season. And then that's our Saturday, that's our weekend. Missed you. It hasn't seemed like a lot of time has passed for you, but it has for me, and I am in desperate need of a tarot card pull. I think I just need some light to be shed. So we're gonna dive in, and I'm going to do a little tarot card pull for you. Oh, but first, of course, the movies. The movies. All right, so we watched Emilia Perez and The Substance. And now that I've sat with both of them, I don't like any of them. Hear me out. They both had great parts. Like Emilia Perez, I liked that movie. I know a lot of people didn't. I don't know if I would call it a Best Picture nomination. As somebody who's like a musical theater nerd, I actually like do vouch for that movie because I feel like a lot of the musical theater community doesn't. But truly, I think that it kind of hits a lot of boxes for me when it comes to musical movies, like in-camera effects, dancers, lots of fun and practical set and stunt pieces. I find that very powerful, and that's why you go see theater on stage, is to see them do it live. And so that's what I want to see in film, is them also doing this all in the camera. So that's just my hot take. And then The Substance. Okay, listen, I was here for it. When it started, I was like, yes, oh, I'm obsessed. I really liked this movie. You can really tell that the actresses trust their director. However, I don't feel like they knew how to land the plane. I feel like they lost the message halfway through. I feel like I am not a body horror person, and so in order for you to get me to really understand what you're trying to say with that, you need to really tie it up with a bow at the end and really drive it home. And for me, I think they lost sight of what they were trying to say in the very end and just kind of went for like a crazy bonkers ending rather than staying true to what I feel the movie's entire point and message was. But everybody in it did freaking fantastic. All right, let's get into this tarot card reading. Look at this poor little package. It's totally falling apart and I feel so bad for her. This was the first card deck I ever bought myself, and she's been through it all. And this is also the deck that I use when I read for other people because I have so many tarot card decks. I collect them like crazy, but a lot of my decks are for me and for certain types of pulls that I'll do or readings that I'll do. And this is the card deck that I use to read for others because some of my card decks are just private, okay? They're my energy only, but these are for you, all right? But she needs a new carrying case. This poor girl's falling apart. All right, let's do a little tarot reading. Going into this week, let's start with a positive. Let's start with something to look forward to this week that will bring us home to ourselves, all right? That will get us excited, okay? Card for this week that will, well, just like that, she answers. We have the 8 of Pentacles. I will probably say this a million times, but I love this card. Something to avoid this week. Something to... Hello! We got the Moon. Love it when we see a major arcana. Now let's ask for words of affirmations to take into this week with us, okay? This is like those parting words of kindness. We have what to look forward to this week. We have what to avoid. And now what is that affirmation that will keep us grounded in these 2 cards in this message? So we need a card that'll speak to an affirmation. Whoa, so many. Oh, I love. We have 2 cards that popped out for us, in our words of affirmations, parting words of kindness. And that is, first we got the Lovers, and then we got the Page of Wands. So this card will bring context to the Lovers once we get there. So let's dive in to the deeper message with what to look forward to this week. Again, we got the Eight of Pentacles. This is what to look forward to, right? Something that you can look forward to that will bring you home to yourself. And as you can see here, this is somebody who is very hard at work, but they also don't forget to put what they've accomplished up on the wall, all right? You need to celebrate the small wins. And so something that can bring you home to yourself this week is to recognize your achievements no matter how small, all right? Now, they're still working, they're still focused on the details, and they know how far they've come, but they also know how far away they are from the goal that they're trying to achieve. And they're getting closer, and they can see each stepping stone and the beauty of the journey, but they're still motivated because they recognize how far they've come. Hang up those stars that you've achieved throughout this week, no matter how small, okay? So what we got to avoid this week came in the card of the Moon. Moon is a beautiful mystical card that we get when we're thinking about fantasies. And obviously there's many interpretations, but what I'm hearing here today is letting that fantasy you have, right? That big sexy dream that you've been dreaming of for so long, you've been holding on to it so tightly. What I'm hearing here is don't get carried away with the fantasy. We have a balance between our primal animalistic selves and our civilized selves. And right now we're being called to strike that balance again and not let our primal selves get away from us, right? Letting that wild side get away from us and honing it back in, recognizing our fantasies, recognizing our big, beautiful dreams, but then coming back to how to make those a reality. And I think in context to our Eight of Pentacles, this is a perfect message because we know what it's like to put the work in and we celebrate those small steps. We can't get carried away with the idea of things and how fantasy sometimes can be better than reality, right? We want to make those dreams a reality. So we need to bring them here on the ground where we are. We need to put in the work. So what I'm hearing, what to avoid this week is to avoid letting the fantasy get away from you and bring yourself back to the ground a little bit and figure out what your next little step is, okay? All right, and then our very final message here comes in the Lovers with a little bit of additional context that they threw in as the Page of Wands. So I think the best way to speak to these is kind of to transform them into words of affirmation, a saying that you can then take with you and remember this week. You can write it down in your... Personally, I make reminders in my phone that hit me throughout the day that are just little words of affirmation that I know I need to hear at certain points in my day, like my mindset in the morning, afternoon, evenings, before bed. And so I highly recommend bring up your little reminders app, type in this affirmation and have it ping you at least once a day so that you can kind of embody this message and come back to what we learned here today. Let's start with the Lovers. And what I want to start with here is that the Lovers, they have symmetry, right? So we still have that message of balance and the two halves of ourselves. So we kind of have that Moon message drawn back in, those two halves of ourselves, both primal and civil, that we kind of bring back together in one. But what I find super interesting and in my research in tarot is that the Lovers card, as in plural, is a new iteration of this card. And originally when tarot was developed, it was the Lover, singular. And that was somebody who could just be interpreted as a person who found love everywhere they go. And so I think that that's kind of what I'm being drawn to here, is coming back to that OG interpretation of just that lover, that somebody who sees love everywhere. And I think that that's kind of our interpretation today, is that we need to romanticize the work. We need to make sure we celebrate those small wins so that we're romanticizing each little step of the way and really getting into loving the details of our work that make it great. I'm definitely hearing that we need to fall in love with the journey because we have the Page of Wands, and the page is that character who's about to embark on what the journey is ahead of them through the entire suit of wands. I'll get in a little deep for you, okay? The tarot cards, when you lay them all out, every single one, are in preceding order, okay? They are supposed to be showing you an entire life's journey each step of the way. And so each suit, the wands, the swords, the cups, the pentacles, each suit is one singular journey through a lesson that we're all supposed to learn in our lives. Wands are passion, fiery, magic. Swords are willpower, mindset, career. I can get into all of them, but we can make that a separate video. If you want to hear that, please let me know in the comments if you want to hear more about tarot, because I could really talk about it for forever. But essentially, this is the page, and the page is that person who is still at the very start, the person who's about to embark on this lesson, on this journey. So when I'm seeing this in context to the Lovers, this is a work of passion, all right? This is alchemy. You are taking something and you are making it into something that is totally you and brand new. We need to romanticize the full journey every step of the way. So those are our words of affirmations. Put it in your little phone. These are our cards for the week, my friends. We are all set to go. I'm gonna go clean my dishes and make dinner. Thank you again, and we'll chat again soon. I'll see you.